So what I'm going to do is for the next 2 weeks I'm going to be talking about our habits and kind of what we do every single day that kind of defines who we are. Because it's always the small things that we do every single day that make a big difference. And so today I'm going to talk about bad habits. Come on. So come on, name some bad habits. Come on, I want to hear some examples.
Kicking the volleyball.
Kicking the volleyball? That is a bad habit.
Checking your phone all the time, like social media.
Being late. Being late?
Yeah.
That's a bad habit. What else? Come on. Okay.
Biting your fingernails.
Biting your fingernails. That's good. Cool. Well, I'm going to go a little deeper. I'm going to tell y'all about the time where I started drinking a lot and I kind of became an alcoholic. So that's a real bad habit, right? So I'm going to get a little more involved than y'all did. So there was a time in my life where when I was in college, and when I would come home, my girlfriend at the time, she would cook dinner. And because all my other buddies at the time were broke and didn't have a lot of food, they would come over and eat with us. And because they were coming over and eating free food, they would bring some drinks. And so what we started to do is they would come over and eat, and we would sit around and drink. And so this started to become a habit all through college. So if you spend 2 to 4 years doing the same thing over and over, that is a really strong habit that you're going to develop. So after I graduated college, and then I ended up breaking up with that girlfriend, what still happened? I still went home and I still continued to drink after work and during dinner. And then it got to the point where I wasn't hanging out with those friends anymore. So what I would do is I would come home, I would eat by myself, and I would drink by myself. And it got to the point in my life where if I didn't go home and drink, I felt out of place. Like I actually got to the point where like people would want me to go do something. I'm like, no, I just need to go home for a minute. I need to kind of relax, I need to chill down, and I need to have a drink. And so that got to a point in my life where that's what I had to do, because it was a habit that I went through every single day for so many years. And it got to the point where that was what I wanted to do all the time, was drink. Therefore, that created who I was, you see? And so because I had to drink, therefore alcohol was ruling my life. And therefore I started to become so dependent on alcohol and just, having that in my life. And it got to the point where, I had a friend that was kind of like, look, man, you can't go a single day without drinking when you get home from work. Like, come on, man. And so I started to think about that and how much it was ruling my life and how much it was just taking over who I was. Because now I didn't want to go out. Now I didn't want to do anything. I just want to go home and drink. And so it was taking over everything that I did. So one small habit that started 4 years in college became who I was. It became my identity. And see, that's what happens to us in our life, is we let habits dictate who we are and who we become. How many people drink coffee? Starbucks. Yeah. Come on now. We got some people addicted to coffee here. I know it. I know it. Starbucks makes a lot of money. Some people got some bad habits. Drinking coffee every single day. I know when I was a little kid, you don't talk to my mom before she had a pot of coffee. You know what I'm saying? You just don't do it. You wake up in the morning, hey mom, you had some coffee yet? And so that goes to prove that habits rule who we are and what we do. And so along that same line, Galations 6:7 says, you reap what you sow. Most of us have heard that before. You reap what you sow. So you're going to get out what you put in. If you keep doing things every single day, that's going to be who you become. It's that simple. So the little things you're doing every single day is determining who you are right now. So what I wanted to ask y'all, and I want you to think about through this day, is what are you doing today and what are you doing this week that is determining who you are as a person? Like, what habits are you usually doing and what are they saying about you? Like, I play a lot of sports. So people say I'm addicted to sports. I don't care. To me, that's a good habit. But that's who I am. So people know me as a sports guy and a fitness guy. So that is my identity. So what are y'all doing? And that's what I want y'all to think about. Because it's easy to let things of the world become your identity, and a lot of times we don't depend on God. We don't depend on what Jesus has done for us to change who we are inside of us. And so next week I'm going to kind of really dig into some good habits we should be doing. But for now, I want y'all to focus on what you're doing now and where you are today.